Hello everyone and welcome back to another video, and this is what day are we on? May the 5th. So this is the latest update to the A-Pet 500 case. So as you can see, the keyboard is in, bolted in. I haven't lined up the top plate very well, but never mind. As you can see, I've damaged the monitor. I did that by it fell over and landed on the plug, the mains plug. I thought I got away with it because it was dark and I couldn't see the line, so I thought, well, that's okay, it survived. But over the last few days that black line has appeared, but never mind. It's perfect for testing. I don't mind if I mark or scratch it. I can be a little bit rough. So what have I done in the last, well, since the last update? Well, the keyboard is now fitted properly, even though, like I said, I've just taken this off and I've been messing about with it. I haven't lined it back up properly. This does lift off completely. If I can get my nail under there, which I can't. Oh, there we go. So that lifts off. And the idea is that I can unbolt 4 bolts under there, remove this whole assembly, put a PC keyboard in there, bolt it back up and change this top plate. The top plate will be, if I sell these, which I probably will sell them one at a time, the top plate will be adhered on there somehow, not sure how yet, but when it is, that will stick on there so it won't come off. As you can see, it's now got a neck, as they call it, on the Pet, so it's elevated. This is the first prototype, so I'm unlikely to do any more development on this particular case because of how I've made it. It's how can I describe it? I've made this case not necessarily quickly, I've made it very slowly, but I've made it in quite a short amount of time, and it's not quite as accurate as it should be. This, for example, this leading edge here, or case bezel, lid, whatever you want to call it, is probably 5mm shorter than it should be. It should have a tighter fold in there and a tighter fold in there, which make that taller slightly. I'll give it a sharper edge, kind of like this. And what that would do is, it would mean that I could actually mark out and add a slot for a floppy drive in there. I can't on this one because it's not at 90 degrees, and with the radiuses on there, it kind of well, it won't allow me to do it. I can't do it very easily, so I'm not going to do it on this case. I'm going to do that on the next case. I'm in two minds whether to put a floppy drive in there and a CD slot thing in there, but I'm thinking about that. So as you can see, I've painted the bezel black. It's just a spray can just to see what it looked like. Looks quite smart, I think. Yeah, I quite like that. It could be blue, it could be black, whatever. The case itself would be white. It's an off-white, an antique white. 7012, I think someone told me, is RAL code. I'll look into that. So this is the outer case. On the back of the screen there, I'll stop the video and walk around in a moment. The back of the screen has a ATX power pack. The power pack will drive the Amiga. It doesn't yet because I haven't got an adapter, but I will. So we'll have a look inside. I think that's the best thing to do. So from the back of the case here, you can see that we have the standard Amiga 500 ports. Nothing's changed, it's just a back plate with a piano hinge. We have a ATX power pack screwed in there. The next case, it will be shaped slightly better than that. I made a boo-boo when I made that case, but that's okay. It's a prototype, that's what it's for. What else? Yeah, I did originally design it with a little plate in there for the power pack to sit on, but the case is so stiff it really doesn't need it. Plenty of vent holes. No speaker grills, as I didn't put any in. I'm unsure whether to put speaker grills in or not. I don't know. I'm thinking about that. So that's the back. Not very exciting, I must admit. But the rear plates here do change. I can change that, unbolt it, take it out, and the PC one can fit in there with the I/O panel. So it's universal for any modern PC. Stick a PC motherboard in there and do whatever you want to do. I potentially could make a Mr. I/O panel, one of EduU's motherboards, the rear Amiga, the whatever, I can make any I/O panel that will fit in there. What I can't do, or can't do very easily, is have a PC one with slots for PCI cards. Does that matter? Does anybody care? Probably not. I mean, a decent PC like a Ryzen or something's got built-in graphics anyway. Who cares? And everything's on the motherboard. So I didn't bother. It makes life too complicated. So that's the back of the case. The monitor is obviously bolted on through the neck, if you will. And now back to the internals. So the internals, at the moment, this is not finalized, but at the moment it will always be designed for an Amiga 500. That's my favorite Amiga. The case is big enough to take other Amigas, so it could have a 600, it could have a 1200, it could even have a 2000, 3000, 4000 if you wanted to, but why I don't know. The 4000 would be interesting, so I could put slots that way. So yeah, that might be interesting. I used to have a motherboard, but I sold it, never used it. Same for the 3000, because they have slots that way. The Amiga 2000 is that way, which is a bit of a pain in the neck. Anyway, so what I would like to do with the 500, it's primarily geared towards the PyStorm and the Vampire cards, i.e. HDMI output for the screen, as it makes life a lot easier. The Raspberry Pi there will take RGB to HDMI, and that'll go through a converter to VGA. So the remote control for the monitor, switch mode, press button on the monitor on the remote, and it will change display. If you lose the remote, you can use the buttons on the front of the screen. So the idea of the Zorro 2 card in there is that what I want to do is have a Zorro 2 with an ATX connector, so I can power the Amiga from the ATX point there. At the moment it's just powering the screen. I want it to, an ATX connector on there to power the Amiga and have access to an IDE card if someone wants to stick an IDE in, or a USB, or whatever people like really. And Deneb USB, I don't know if Gen still makes them. So that's the idea of that. I'm not too bothered about graphics cards because the PyStorm and the Vampire have their own discrete video, so I really don't care too much about Amiga RTG, as it's already on these cards, and it's better than anything that was available back in the olden days anyway. So the case, as you can see, is plenty big enough, and the reason I made it, that you might think, oh, it's massive, why don't it stop there? Well, it'd be too small for a start, but my original idea was probably having a DVD drive here, or here maybe, whatever, so that the IDE card could be plugged into that, or maybe having an IDE on the side maybe, so it's a side eject. That'd be quite nice coming out that way, not sure. As you can see, it's got the anchor tabs on for screwing into the case, so it screws up as they originally did. I've got a bit of an old bar that I had kicking about in the workshop as an hinge, as a bonnet stay. I have ordered some nice round bar that should come tomorrow, so I'll probably alter that this weekend. I might, if I get time, make the next case this weekend and build it up as a PC, probably a Ryzen or something. But yeah, that's about it so far. And there we go, so the top closes down. It's quite heavy, this case at the moment. I've made it from 0.5 mil steel, which frankly is too heavy. It's too strong, too heavy, too weighty. By the time you've bolted the head unit on, the keyboard brackets and everything, it weighs a goddamn ton. It's probably heavier than the original PET. So the next case I've already made out of sheet steel. So the next prototype, which I'll probably have pre-made with slots in for 1 floppy drive, maybe 2. You can run 2 floppy drives on an Amiga 500. What I'd like to do is have slots pre-cut in there with blanks left in them, like you had in the old days on PCs. Probably one there, and a 5 1/4, maybe, possibly on the side, or this side. The reason for that being that the bonnet stay closes down. Now the only way I could have a CD coming out of the front would be to use gas struts to lift and close the case, which I can do, but it's costly and more difficult to do. I might put gas struts on. I'm quite tempted to put gas struts on, but we'll see. So it sort of goes psh, psh, as it closes, which I think would be very cool. With the blanks on, even with the slots cut out and the blanks in there, I will have a label made to fit on there that says MVT A-Pet or something, 500 or whatever. I've asked a chap to make me labels for the back. I need to do him a PDF for that. So the keyboards that can be used are Amiga 500 and PC. I have a mechanical USB PC, which is a very similar layout to this. It has a flat bottom base. It's mechanical, so it clicks a little bit like, well, not like that, but nicer than that. It's very clicky, and that's what I've designed we've designed the top plate around. So that's that. So that's about it for this update. So the next stage will be, I need to sort out the power from the ATX to the Amiga. I'll probably stick an IDE card in there and mess about with the DVD drive, probably, if I get time. I will be going to RecCon at the Greenford Community Centre in London on June the 18th, I believe. I'll post a link to it. I would like to take 2 cases with me, this one and the PC one. If I get time to make 2, I will do that. I mean, I've got a month, so pressure's on really. I need to get these painted. Well, I need to get the other one made and then get them painted, so there's quite a bit to do. Comments, please let me know what you think. I'm at a loss of where to put a DVD player, or if to put a DVD CD player. I always wanted Amiga with a CD, and when I eventually got on a 500 and plugged a CD drive into it, it was awful. It was too slow. So I would like to have a CD drive on there just to play the, Amiga format magazines and things, because I think that's quite fascinating. I'm sure other people feel the same or can't be bothered. Don't know, let me know. Floppy drive in there I think would be pretty damn cool. You could have a floppy or a Gotek. There is a chap making a PCB for the 500 that will take DFO1 and DFO and DF1. Oh my god, that's hard to say. So O and 1 disk drive, so you put the internal drive there, say, and the external there. So it's all included in one. Or I could go the other route and make a big box and have a double drive in that. I can't really be bothered to do that. Make a big square box, have it all coloured the same. Although it would be in keeping with the PET. Imagine the Amiga 500 came out in 1980, let's say 81 or 80. So you've still got the angle PETs, and the Amiga came in 1980, which obviously it didn't, but let's pretend. So it would have come with an external drive. So it's feasible. But the likelihood of me doing that are slim, although I could do it. Again, slim. So that's it. So that's my plan, is to get these 2 finished, or at least get this one finished, painted. I'd quite like to put a glass screen on front of the monitor. I don't really like monitors when you can do that. PC monitors all do that. They're crap, aren't they? It's just plastic and you press it. I don't like it. I'd like a glass screen in there like Apple use, so you can press it and it doesn't deform or scratch. Well, it does deform if you press it hard enough. And that's about it really. This is the culmination of about 3 months work so far. Quite a lot of work, quite a lot of hours making this case. I made this case by hand. It was laser cut by machine, but I folded it, fabricated it by hand. It's not millimeter perfect, which annoys me hugely. So the next case will be more accurate than this. The cases after that I will have made by a company who specialise in bending metal. So they'll do a much better job than I do, and they'll be a damn sight quicker. This is, like I say, this case has taken me probably 2 months to get it designed and drawn up, and then another 2 months to do a bit at a time. Quite a long-winded process, as you can imagine. So anyway, that's my plan with this. So I will be at Retcon on the Saturday with hopefully this machine and another on show. So if you're there, come and say hello, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye for now.